Whether you like or dislike President Trump, this is a massive foreign policy win for the Trump administration. Normalizing ties between the UAE and Israel appears to be the first step in what the White House is hoping will look like momentum for the region to try to work towards a peace agreement that will be, as Jared Kushner described there in those remarks, untraditional. I interviewed Jared Kushner last summer in Bahrain during this conference in Manama, where you had all of these Arab states coming to the table except the Palestinians. And it appeared that this plan would ultimately deteriorate and that nothing would come out of it. But it looks like the Trump administration has basically made something out of nothing. And what we are seeing now today, the normalization of ties between the UAE and Israel, isn't just a diplomatic win where you are going to see now flights between places like Tel Aviv and Abu Dhabi, but also a security win. First, when you look at the Palestinians, what the president has effectively done in the short term is avoid a new round of conflict between the Israelis and Palestinians. When you look back at that July 1st deadline, it appeared like the region was headed towards conflict because Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, was going to move forward with annexation plans. This new agreement will freeze those plans. Additionally, when you look at the Iranian regime, the key enemy of the Israelis, you have to look at the strategic location of the UAE. Right across the Persian Gulf sits the UAE from Iran. So right now you are going to have a key U.S. ally and now a friend of Israel as a result of this agreement, which will only add to the security bolstering of the Israelis. Now, when you step back from all of this and you think about what this means for the president going in to the election in November and debates that often will focus on foreign policy, Joe Biden is likely going to try to hit President Trump on his foreign policy record. The president now is going to put forth that he has a key historic peace plan in the Middle East between Israel and the UAE. He'll also be able to point to the fact that he moved the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, recognized the Golan Heights. But then looking at a larger record, you can look at taking out top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the leader of the Islamic State, and all of these other movements that we have seen from the Trump administration.